an airplane crash. At busy airports like Phoenix Sky Harbor, upwards of 1,500 aircraft arrive and depart every day, carrying more than 100,000 passengers. And although there's never been a major incident at Sky Harbor, firefighters know that the size, speed, and explosive force of a plane crash pose a unique set of problems for airport rescue squads. FAA studies show that many passengers actually survive the initial blunt force of a crash, only to be killed by the explosions, smoke, and fire that follow. In fact, as many as 80% of passengers are still alive when the fuselage stops moving. But if there is a jet fuel fire in the engine compartment, it can burn through the skin of the fuselage and spread through the passenger compartment within minutes, which means the window of time to save lives is narrow, to say the least. That's why rescuers rely on a fleet of multi-purpose, flame-battling beasts designed to race them head-on into violent jet fuel fires and get the passengers out quickly. They're known as Airport Rescue Firefighting Vehicles, or Arffs for short. And at Sky Harbor, the Arff of choice is the E1 Titan. Available in 4, 6, and 8-wheeled configurations with a 665 horsepower diesel engine, the E1 Titan reaches a top speed of 50 miles an hour as it races down the runway.
You know, it's a high-performance engine, no doubt about that. No doubt about it at all.
The 8-wheeled Titan is aptly named Big Brother, and big is right. It weighs a whopping 91,000 pounds when fully loaded. That's about 12 tons heavier than a Bradley fighting vehicle. But Big Brother comes by its weight, honestly. It carries a 3,200-gallon water tank that feeds a front bumper turret capable of blasting 528 gallons a minute. An additional 600 gallons per minute flows from a joystick-controlled nozzle on the vehicle's roof. And if the runway contains flaming debris, sprinklers around the girdle of the vehicle protect the Titan's undercarriage. Another set of sprinklers guard its windshield. The airport rescue vehicle's hot rod engine transforms the Sky Harbor tarmac into the Titan's own personal drag strip. But tearing down the tarmac isn't the Titan's only trick.
The majority of your airplanes are not going to crash on the runway, so they have to have the ability to get to wherever the plane is at.
That's exactly what happened when America West Flight number 794 overran the runway. The plane was damaged after it skidded onto the dirt infield, and the Sky Harbor Rescue Squad had to negotiate uneven terrain to reach the 159 people on board and evacuate them to safety.
The first arriving units were there within probably 2 minutes before they were even able to evacuate the aircraft themselves.
To ensure the rescue vehicle can shift from being a tarmac speed demon to an off-road specialist in an instant, E1, the truck's manufacturer, constantly tests its ability to negotiate uneven terrain at the end of runways. And to do that, they use what looks like the world's largest drafting table. E1's tilt table can support up to 150,000 pounds and uses a 5-cylinder hydraulic system to tilt to over 30 degrees. To be deemed off-road worthy, the Titan must remain on the table until it tilts beyond 20 degrees. But that doesn't mean it's cleared for takeoff. After passing the tilt table test, the Titan is then tested on a mock embankment. When the Titan tilts too far, an alarm bell sounds inside the vehicle's cab.
We're almost at the limit right there.
After passing the tilt table and the embankment test, every Titan takes on a rugged off-road course.
Pick up a little speed through here.
When test driver Rick Shantz goes into a corner on the test track, lateral acceleration sensors sound an alarm in the cab to let him know the tires are headed into a slide. A simple correction, and the Titan is back on course. Thanks in part to some fancy driving and to the Titan's massive wheels, each equipped with an independent suspension system. This suspension system helps isolate and absorb the jarring bumps and shocks of the rocky riverbed at the end of Sky Harbor's runways.
If we go down the river bottom, if we go to places like that, we need all-wheel drive. And plus two, if it's smoother, we can get there safer. Trick is we can't put out a fire, we can't help anybody unless we get there. And this truck's very stable, very smooth, and very safe truck.
Since fiery crashes are thankfully rare, the Titan watches over the entire airport, including a squadron of U.S. Air Force refueling planes. Any kind of petrochemical fire, and the Titan is ready to roll. But the thing that truly makes the Titan the ultimate Arff vehicle is a tool called the snozzle. Similar to the strong arm mounted to ladder trucks, the snozzle is a high-reach extendable turret that can penetrate 50 feet into a raging inferno and hit it with 1,000 gallons of water per minute. The snozzle can also distribute a dry chemical retardant, which smothers flames in a fuselage much the way a cook might use baking soda to tamp out a grease fire. But what happens when the flames are inside a sealed plane? If there are no openings in the side of a downed plane, then the Titan makes its own with a Snozzle 652. This piercing attachment cuts directly through the exterior of the solid fuselage.
If you can get that smoke out of there by puncturing through the top of that fuselage and letting the smoke and the heated gases escape, those people have a better chance of survival.
Once the fuselage has been punctured, the attachment delivers an explosion of water to the airplane's fiery interior.
Going through an inch steel and just opening it up like a can opener and exploding water all the way around it.
And with the addition of internal cab seating, the Titan can now deliver 6 firefighters to the scene and begin saving lives as soon as possible.
As soon as it's safe for us to go in, we will make access to that plane.
We're going more towards looking at this as a high-rise building laying on its side, rather than looking at it as an aircraft incident.
With their massive water tanks, arsenal of tools, and ability to get down a runway and over rough terrain in a hurry, the Titan series Arffs are an airport's first and last line of defense against jet fuel fire.